he can fall to Void. Even in the laning stage, Void can mess him up pretty significantly. You use Purification usually to harass and heal yourself. Void doesn't care, he time walks. Overall, I like HellRaisers opening a lot. Uh, they definitely abuse the fact that Void hasn't been banned. They comboed him with an Ancient Apparition, and their draft is looking solid straight from the beginning.
Yeah, whereas when you look at J178, one of the big cruxes is that they picked this Omni Knight after the Leshrac was banned in the first phase. So they haven't got what is arguably like top 3 most potent combos for the Omni. And also the other thing to keep in mind, while you can GA your team when they're chronoed, remember that bash damage is magical, right? So you will still feel the pain. And Ember is another hero that if he gets caught in that chrono, you can almost guarantee he's going to die. He's not really known for his tankiness or his frontlining capability.
Then again, that same Ember is very elusive, and that same Ember is it's an Oracle pick. By the way, why I'm doing this stuff like something exceptional has happened is because Oracle has been picked up together with an Ancient Apparition. And Oracle plus Ancient, we don't really see them often together, as they're both very strong 5s, but pretty weak 4s. You don't want a position for Oracle, and you definitely don't want a position for Ancient Apparition. Which one is it going to be? I'm not certain. Oracle is decent as it has one of the last remaining purges in the game. You have that purge to deal with Ember, and it helps out overall. It gives you some saves.
This could be something peculiarly different that we haven't seen in a while. For all we know, this could easily end up being an AA mid. In the Ember matchup, it's not terrible, right? Like, you can actually kind of aggress him off. It does get a bit risky once level 6 hits, but I mean, it's something to keep in mind. Like, that is something that's been experimented with recently, and it had, I'm not going to say overwhelming success, but it had reasonable success.
Mm-hmm.
Now we will get the CM as well.
How much success did the CM have recently? Like, she's been picked up here and there, not really in the CIS quals. She hasn't been touched way too many times, but Crystal Maiden is a solid pick overall. In EU scene, it's been there. NA as well. Not a bad hero at all. Good position 5 or 4. We'll see which way they opt to roll her. I think it's going to be that. Yeah, this is great. This is such a good Night Stalker game. It's really great. Like, they have already some damage in the Chronosphere with the Ancient Apparition. They have the Night Stalker to deal with the Ember, Crystal Maiden, Rubik, and Omni Knight with that AoE silence. That will be really good too.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to watch, because what you've got here is ease of execution for Chronos, right? Like, you can confidently on the HellRaisers jump in and chrono what you see without thinking about the backline, because you know your Night Stalker can cut back there and stop any sort of rebuttal or save that comes out from, for example, the Omni Knight.
10 seconds.
Exactly, like something like a Blink BKB on Night Stalker looks amazing in this game, but we might see that Aghanim's been so valued recently. I've played versus Aghanim's Night Stalker recently in Pub 2. Man, that stuff is like, it's good. It's good. Just AoE mini stun that messes you up, and then your silence slowed.
Oh, wow.
I love the Night Stalker. Monkey King picked versus the Ember Spirit, obviously, on that mid lane. Is a hero that can deal with him, but in J178, they could also just pick something else, put it mid, and then Ember Spirit can go on the side lane versus the Night Stalker. Ember shouldn't really suffer that much versus NS early on. You can even harass the NS, like Crystal Maiden plus Ember would be pretty alright, unless they put Oracle with the Night Stalker, then the Ember could suffer. So they can definitely play with their lanes and decide what they want to go for. If they try to dodge these lanes, Ember can struggle in the side lanes too, but Monkey King can crush in mid lane. Whoa!
Hey, there we go. Meepo final pick. And we've seen this before. Plantimos, he plays on the outer lanes. Does have a tendency towards going for the passive build as well, right?
Yes. Okay, this is why I'm taking a second. I'm taking a second to see if this is a good Meepo game, or if it's just a Meepo game like, it's all right, but it doesn't really fare great versus HellRaisers lineup. Just like yesterday, they picked it versus Virtus Pro and they failed with this Meepo. Now I'm thinking if they will fail again.
It's worrying.
These supports don't do a lot to Meepo. Ancient Apparition isn't great, and neither is Oracle. Oracle is also, by the way, the position 4. Then again,
seconds remaining.
Night Stalker with the new AoE silence is pretty decent. Void
5
isn't great
seconds
versus Meepo
remaining.
because you can't time walk out of the Earthbind. And Monkey King, it's really tricky. If Monkey King has a really good early game, good laning stage, he can crush Meepo later on and he can hunt them down 24/7. But if he doesn't, then Meepo is always in an advantage. The thing is, though, how is this monkey going to fare mid? We have to wait and see. But the matchups, no matter who they put on mid, should be fairly simple for Nyx. He wins versus Ember. He should win versus Meepo as well if they put him there. And because of that, I think HellRaisers have a slight advantage over.
Yeah, and the
Um,
difference between what happened yesterday with that best of three and today is J178, they relied heavily on the Magnus recovery element, right? They don't have that potent recovery that they did yesterday, right? That was the big difference, is that HellRaisers, we know that they do pretty damn well in their lanes. They come out predominantly, but they tend to make a slip up at some point. And J178, they don't have this lineup that tries to sit back on purpose. It feels like this lineup needs to take control quickly.
Definitely J178, they looked like yesterday when it comes to a stronger team, a team strength assessment, I believe J178 did look a bit stronger. J178 also executed their strategy with more willpower, with more decisiveness, and I believe they are the stronger team, and they should be considered famous. Famous? What? They should be considered
Favorites.
famous. They're famous
Favorites.
They should be
Well,
considered famous favorites in this match, yeah. Then again, this Meepo on the side lane with Max Ransack.
I don't think
not a fan.
No, I don't think I like this game because we've seen how Plantimos likes to play this. He has to play a completely different style to what he played yesterday, right? Like yesterday, it was the frontliner. Today, you have to kill people, right? Like you can't trust in your Ember to do it alone. It's not like you had this big carry that was going to dish the damage. You have to be the damage this time around. And if you're relying heavily on Ransack to keep you up, if AA clips you with the Ice Blast, good luck. Your ability to sustain is gone.
I honestly think Ember can do a whole lot this game too. I completely agree with what you just said. I think Meepo has to play a much bigger role than he did in that yesterday's
30
game.
seconds to
But
battle.
then again, I think Ember can, like, he's not playing versus some heroes that can completely crush him comes mid game. But the problem for this Ember is the laning stage. How is he even going to fare versus a Monkey King who usually crushes an Ember? He either needs some rotations. I believe once that Ember hits 6, you need to rotate Pikachu. You need to crush this Monkey King so that the Ember has that extra oomph, so that he has that one extra item that allows him to rotate across the map and get pickoffs.
Bane quite good for rotating on the Monkey King as well, right? With that attack speed debuff, you could stop him before he even gets the lifesteal up. So I think she'll be the one to watch. Maybe Diorara makes a rotation around level 3. That could be the critical moment.
It could happen. Crystal Maiden, not really the best hero to rotate at the moment, and neither is Bignam's Rubik, as they have to keep their respective lanes nice and healthy. But if a chance does occur, like if some good rune spawns, then perhaps they can rotate to the mid lane to take it down.
Definitely. That's kind of key. You have to be quick. It's kind of the nature of ganking Monkey King. If you take too long and he gets that Jingo online, the gank suddenly can turn around on you in an instant. And you can feed 2, maybe even 3 kills, depending on how many heroes you bring in. We're gonna see how the Plantimos Meepo goes, though. Like, Night Stalker, it's a more passive offlaner, right? Like, he can pressure you a little bit. Because this Ransack build, you can just lifesteal up whatever he does to you with the Void. But I guess I'm concerned once you hit the first night
You
time.
can just purify yourself on versus the Void, and Void can mess you up with the time lock. And as you said, on the other side, DM, he hits you a few times, but you just ransack yourself as Meepo back to life. So we have these 2 lanes that are pretty much self-sustaining when it comes to cores, and the supports could be the ones that make the difference. Like on this side we have Oracle, on the other we have the AA Rubik. We'll see which one of these 2 are able to make the difference, if any.
Especially positioning around the 5-minute mark is going to be important for Happy Diorara. CM's known for being quite slow. And the moment nighttime hits, you can guarantee Aloha Dance and DM are going to try and jump her. But not too bad, considering usually Plantimos, when he plays this Meepo, he goes for early points in the Earthbind, so he can potentially prevent those kills from occurring.
By the way, have to say I love this nickname, Petushara. Petushara
Petushara.
playing
Oh,
the
Pikachu?
Omni.
Oh
Petushara.
no! He
I
salved
mean,
as
it's
well.
classic. It's classic. You can't really like we have good nicknames in this game. We have Pikachu, we have Petushara. I feel very mature watching this game. It's good.
You got a
Meepo is
Nyx,
being
even though you don't have a
gone on.
Nyx. Oh,
Meepo, they try to ransack him a little bit, but he's completely fine. He goes back and he has the lane pushing into him, so he will find his level 3 as well.
it's a bit of Plantimos. It just sounds like some sort of amphibious creature. I don't know if it's because he was on Vega and that's what I think it. It reminds me of what were they called? It's like the duck kind of
Doesn't
covered
it sound
with an otter.
Greek? Like some Greek.
I can't remember. It's a creature that looks like a cross between a duck and a beaver.
Yeah,
The
platypus.
Platypus. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of platypuses.
Yeah, it's close enough. You know, platypus, they're like dangerous. They have like some venom in their claws or something.
Yes.
They're actually poisonous.
It's true. Although I still deal with one of those over a honey badger any day. I feel like that's a cool name. I don't know why we don't have any pro players called honey badger.
Okay, you gave me an idea. I'm not going to be a lizard anymore. I'm
Honey badger.
switching into a honey badger.
It's so vicious, so strong.
Truth be told, it's much better. It sounds better. I'd rather be called honey badger than a lizard, but I guess I'm stuck with this.
I already said I want a player called Big Nugs as well, like big chicken nuggets. I don't know why. It sounds cool, Big Nugs.
Big
Got those
Daddy
names
Nuts.
that
Happy
you wanna
Durara.
announce.
Bottom lane, they're going on him. Can
Yep.
they get the puny little crystal maiden?
They need to be careful actually. DM could die from this.
No, he can't because Meepo has no Earthbind.
Yeah, he done the greedy build with the double run stat points.
I mean, this build, if you do this in pubs, man, are you gonna get flamed. like, I understand the build. It's not that bad. It's alright. He will never be zoned out of this lane because of it. He'll be able to farm and out-farm the Night Stalker. But, man, if you try this with anyone else but your friends, you are done. You're getting 10 reports. Next game will be with Chappy in the low priority, 100%.
You're assuming your friends wouldn't report you as well. All they have to do is leave the party for a moment and the option's open.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You're nine reports. Your friends will report you.
Oh, there you
too.
go. And if you do a really bad performance, you want to find a way to report yourself. But it makes sense in these 2-on-2 lanes, right? Because you need to sustain. Sustaining is key. Aloha Dance
Aloha
might not
Dance.
sustain life anymore as you're being chased down. Boyd slows down the other Meepo, though.
Palantimos.
He's going for
will
it.
he get him? He's got him. Yeah, he's gonna get him. He gets him there. And he also turns to Palantimos to hit him a few times to ransack himself back to life.
Yeah.
And he can even go for that bounty rune now. But Night Stalker DM, he's trying to snatch the other one. Can he get it?
I don't think so.
This'll come in handy.
He also can't go for this kill on Dairara. He's baiting
He
himself
will
in.
try. Basically, Meepo can Earthbind him there and attack him a few times, but he can't kill him because he has no proof to bring the other Meepo in.
Yes.
And because of that, DM just leaves.
But it's more wasted time away from the lane. This is perfect for Meepo. It just lets him continue to CS freely.
Exactly. What about mid lane though? Monkey King already level 6, Ember level 5.5. He's getting there. It's really good from Pikachu that he abandoned mid and that he went into the jungle. This will help him out quite a lot. Also, Omni Knight doesn't need a lot of help on that top lane, so Rubik is free to just stay mid and defend it for as long as possible so that the Ember can come back into the game. Then again, Bignum, he might get wrecked as Aloha Dance is rotating from behind.
Bignum's reading this though. He knows something's up.
Mm.
Corey's going to spot Aloha Dance on the return. Is he going to get the rune? Nah, the rune's top. An invis rune for Nyx as well, so he can make something happen with this.
He just has to be careful with his rotations. Like HellRaisers, they really love this monkey, but
Oh,
sometimes...
Bignum.
Oh,
He sees
there
him.
we
He
go.
put down the sentry. I'm surprised they didn't put him under the tower, actually.
They don't have chains on Ember, and he also
Yes.
has Flame Guard cooldown. So he just wanted to save himself and throw him as far as possible.
I will
That's
say
all.
one thing, though. Like, we saw this matchup between these two teams yesterday, the Ember and the Monkey King. But this time, Ember was able to be a lot more present in lane. Like, if you remember yesterday, the Ember died 2 or 3 times before he'd even hit 6. So,
Yeah, because they rotated on him as
Yes.
well, right? If you...
yeah, I think it was a
They
haste
caught him
rune that
out.
killed him at the 2-minute mark, and it just kept escalating from there. But this time around, yeah, you know, this Ember looks like he'll be able to actually do something. So we should have an even game.
As long as they make a couple of rotations around mid, they could even take down Nyx's Monkey King once Ember has, like, let's say level 7. Meepo, let's look at the levels. It's same thing happens. Once again, minute 7, he's only level 5. This is, like, very troublesome for a Meepo. Anyone that plays Meepo, like, decently well enough knows that Meepo should have the same level like the minute.
Meanwhile, compare it to the other carry, V-Tune's already up to level 6 and just got himself a kill.
Petushara, the little peacock, dies in that offlane.
But he gets shown off his wings too much. It's plucked. And V-Tune, I mean, he's looking pretty cozy. 43-12. He's been dealing with the Omni Knight very easily so far in this lane. In fact, you can already see the repercussions. I mean, Omni Knight, if it wasn't for that Observer what he just got, he'd be a decent amount behind the Night Stalker, who has rotated on the mid. Nyx fighting up against this. They'll get rid of the Flame Guard, the silence out as well. Pikachu will be going down. CM, oh no, you don't want to be here. The Crippling Fear meant he couldn't respond in time. They'll just join his Ember in the grave.
2 really good kills there for them, which will let them maybe even pressure this mid or just go away and farm. Night Stalker is rotating towards top, so taking down this Omni Knight once again could be really good for them, as it just relieves the pressure on the Void. And also Omni Knight is a kind of a hero that can really help out this Meepo quite a lot if he has a lot of utility items. If he doesn't, then he's kind of irrelevant and he falls once again. I'm happy that they are identifying the targets that they need to take down and that they're doing their best at the moment when it comes to that. The Omni Knight kill, the Ember kill, everyone is doing their job right now on HR, and they're looking much more solid than yesterday when they were pretty much just stomped by 178.
And I like how instead of trying to rotate everyone, they just realized the Night Stalker's enough. The Monkey King could just stay on lane, because once daytime hits, that's when you maybe contemplate getting your Monkey King active on the map, when Night Stalker is weaker again. So understanding their power spikes and when they should actually be rotating. So that's good to see from HellRaisers. They've definitely kind of cleaned it up compared to yesterday. Although at the same time, I will say HellRaisers, we mentioned it already, they are very vicious on the lanes. They're pretty effective. It's just what they do afterwards that we're going to have to watch for.
It's kind of the same problem for most of these teams that are in the qualifier. They aren't active as much as they should be after the laning stage, or the way they're active doesn't really matter. It doesn't really bring them anything.
Yeah, it maximizes their farm, sure, but it never does anything to shut off their opponents.
Top lane.
Petishara's gonna actually be rude here. But he's a tanky fella. It's not easy to bring down. V2 needs to move away. Time Walk is at least coming off cooldown. And while that's happening, AA does fall in the bot lane. DM trying to fight for this rune. Doesn't get it.
Meepo has one of the best voice lines, I swear. Like, can't
Shiny!
fight Shiny can't fight the ground. Like,
I think the best bounty call still goes to Beastmaster, though.
when he...
The who?
Yeah.
It's so random, but so good.
It's definitely the best one. He's so happy he got some gold.
Like, wow, this will go a long way to help my boars push more as we go through the game. But in this game... Okay, Petishara is going for the drum. Wait, no, switch it up. He was having a little
Vlads,
contemplative moment.
Vlads.
It's going to be
It's
Vlads.
Vlads.
Yeah, he
It's
looked
Vlads
at drums
for sure.
for a moment. I was like, okay, that would be brave, I would have felt.
Drums, drums are better for him. Like, drums are the item that he wants as an Omni Knight. But drums are not the best in this scenario. Not with the Meepo and Ember. Vlad's is just much better, and that's why he's buying it. However, I still think that he could have went for drums first. It would help him out. It would make him a stronger force on the lane, and then he could be able to help out
Attention.
Meepo with Vlad's later.
Ice
And
Blast.
Meepo-
Meepo's caught out and killed. They used the Chrono to get it.
Yeah. Such a good Void rotation too. And on the top lane, Oracle...
TP's away. Had to use the false promise, but should just about live. In fact, will be quite healthy. Relatively healthy.
Relatively healthy. For an Oracle, it's good enough. One Fate's Edict plus the Purifying Flames, and he on 100 again.
Oh, Pikachu's going bot, though. He knows they've used the Chrono, so he refuses to go up the top, but... This may have been a bit greedy. First hit bash.
Good
Pikachu
bash.
gets away just in time.
Just in time to catch Happy Durara on that mid lane as Full Maiden is trying to juke.
Nyx.
Meepo is there.
Well, he's used the balance strikes, and Meepo might be able to control up. The lifesteal in the Monkey King might not be enough.
Can Pikachu help him? He remnanted here.
He's so low, he's scared. He should just at least Sleight of Fist. Remnant in. Needs to back away now. The lifesteal's there again. And he doesn't have the mana for Sleight of Fist, so it looks like Nyx will get out.
Yeah, I was actually expecting Ember to help the Meepo and the Crystal Maiden out there a little bit earlier, but instead CM dies to Nyx and then Meepo, like, yeah, escapes relatively healthy.
I mean, I'm confused about this because the Sleight of Fist, it's not just me. It would have done more damage, right? Like, that's 200 at least, whereas Remnant is 100.
Yep.
Interesting choice made by the Ember. I guess he was thinking, hey, Remnant in, I can hit him afterwards, but the life
Maybe
steal's already
he
up.
miscalculated his mana as well. That's also an option.
Yeah, he thought he could do both.
Yeah, it sometimes happens, you know.
He's going in again with the Remnant Flame Guard as well. Purification, but now the life steal goes across, and the turnaround opportunity is there. In fact, Miposhka has the Ice Blast. Look at him patiently waiting. He wants to see what the move's going to be, but decides to
Ember had 2 more Remnants to work with. Also, the Omni Knight is behind him. And because of that, they understand they can't really make a move there. They're just happy that Monkey King survives and they're supporting him on this lane. That's all.
Yeah, it offsets the aggression, and it's just more space for Void, who did go for the Midas. So the more time you kind of waste away from this Void, the better it's going to be. Really see actually top of net worth, going to continue to increase that lead in Plantamos. He does have the Puffs online now, so he can start to accelerate his farm.
He's also level 10, which is huge for him. And from this point onwards, like all of these heroes can pretty much fall just to the Meepo, let's say, and one more.
Speaking of fallen, Omni Knight. He'll flop to the ground. Nap time for this old man. He's going into retirement.
Ember instantly rotates top just to outpush this lane. Outpush, aka to get some farm.
The classic. I'm helping my team because we're not losing buildings.
Yeah,
it's not like
he's
there's anything else
outpushing.
they can do right now. Meanwhile,
Yeah,
bot.
they're pretty much just stuck waiting for Meepo to come online. They're letting Ember do a couple of plays, but that's about it. They can't really do a whole lot. You can see Crystal Maiden as well just sitting around this mid lane. She might fall soon though. DM will use the Dark Ascension, yeah.
Yeah, Petushar is here, and that's going to be a waste. Maybe he can get the tower out of it, which isn't too bad.
Yeah, it's not a waste. They'll invade the jungle perhaps, or do something similar.
Oh boy, he's got the time warp beat. There's the Crippling Fear. They'll get the Rubik. They won't. I wonder if they're actually going to be able to push the tower in time now, though, because they're starting to move in. The Ember and the Omni Knight are here.
Radiant structures are fortified.
I think they just have to accept they won't be able to get this right now and just back off. Be happy with what you got from the Dark Ascension, considering how bad that could win.
The nighttime will start in 10 seconds, and then they can think about making another move. But for now, they will wait and hold their horses. They don't want to pressure the matter, especially when it's daytime.
Nyx, they'll move in. The Wukong's going to be thrown down. We'll clip onto Plantamos. Now the Ice Blast through. Meepo is going down. To the afterlife and goodbye.
He also used his new acquired Ghost Scepter in that fight. He tried to survive with that, but Ancient Apparition was on him. The ulti was there.
Chrono, on it too.
Chrono.
They find the Omni and the Rubik. They'll root them up, hold them in place, and Nyx will even join in on the fun. As they'll claim another 2 heads, and 178, they're starting to crumble. It's a 5k net worth lead at the 15-minute mark for HellRaisers. And they're against the Meepo lineup.
Yeah, actually, HellRaisers are looking much stronger in this game, and looking much stronger than yesterday when they failed to win versus J178. I believe it was a 2-0 victory, right, for 178.
Yes, there was one game where HellRaisers, they took control, and then they didn't throw it away. They just kind of done their typical outplay of themselves in the mid game, and J178 had the right lineup. But this game, 178 don't really have that same type of lineup, and they'll move in. Meepo forced to fight again, but there's that Ice Blast. No chance to use the Ransack to full effect of Petushara. He's in too deep. Needs to get out of here quick. Happy Diorara. That's an adorable freezing field, but you will not kill a single person off. You'll get them low. We'll finish off AA thanks to the Sleight of Fist. Chase through on a DM with the Dark Ascension still running away. The Remnants are chasing in, and Bignum, there's the lift. Drags him back. Ember cleans up a second. Void, has he made himself in, or are the bashes enough? Purification through. Boundless from Nyx will allow him to get the kill, and V-Tune will scare off Pikachu as a result.
This Void is just so strong. They can't really mess with him. He goes in so deep next to the shrine. Ember is there, Rubik is there, but he doesn't care. He takes down the Omni Knight, also obviously with the help of that Monkey King's Boundless Strike. Overall though, this game is going horribly wrong. Like everything is
Radiant's middle tower
like.
has been denied.
Let's just say that they aren't super excited for the next couple of minutes on the side of 178 because they will struggle hard. It's like they haven't slept the whole night and they have to work an 8-hour shift right now because that's what it was. Like the laning stage for them was horrible, and they have to find a way to somehow wake up from this nightmare and come back into the game. Meepo is level 11, 17 minutes in. That's like, you don't even want to look at that. That's like, you know.
Yeah, he's
it
still
hurts your-
asleep. He's overstayed the alarm, all right? He's going to be 2 hours late for work.
He snoozed a couple of too many times, you know, and now he's late for everything. Basically, once he gets that T-Blade, it will make things a little bit easier for him. But if you remember, I was talking about this Monkey King and how he can be a real problem for Meepo if he's fat. This is a kind of a game in which Monkey King is like pretty much ahead of Meepo.
Not pretty much. He is, in fact, net worth, and now the kills more as they move in. Happy Diorara turns around for a moment. Wukong's goes down. Boundless Strike clips on a 1, but CM's still alive for the moment. Will go down finally. But that is not done. Searing Chains. Night Stalker gets low. Will stay alive, though. They should have secured this tower. They haven't got the creep wave is the problem, though, so they have to back off.
Yeah, they could have done a lot more there than just a little Crystal Maiden kill. I believe they were able to catch more heroes. They kind of got outplayed by the Rubik a little bit there with the Time Walk and the lifts. Unfortunate for them, but Ember is caught on top lane.
Crippling Fear. The rest of the DM's team's not here yet. The Ice Blast is going to whiff. Or is it? Could send it through and get the effect in. Ember will go down. And Happy Diorara, he's not going to be happy for long if he's not careful. We'll back up.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate that Pikachu is also dying in, like, he's Meepo's real partner in crime. They're both pretty much just running across the map and feeding so far. 3 deaths on Meepo, on Ember, 3 deaths as well. Same exact score on the both of them. And they're playing versus Void, A, and Monkey. Now look, late game, they can win versus Void and Monkey King. I truly believe that, but they made it much more difficult.
Shara,
And it should have been.
he's making things difficult for himself. Safety is a long way away. They'll move in. There's the bash with the Ice Blast through. He will die.
Yeah, they didn't even want to use that chrono. And on the top lane, Rubik is being E-bladed.
To protect him for the moment, but maybe not for long enough. Time walks back. Now the Pulse Bomb's going to be used. Nick's looking to heal up against the Meepo. Can do so. They really need the Ice Blast on the Meepo, though. Which means for once, Plantomos can actually reign over this fight and assert dominance over the side of HellRaisers. Pikachu hunt for more, but he won't find it as DM gets out of the Dark Ascension.
They fought 2 versus 4 there. That's the reason they lost. They kind of went a little bit too deep, too cocky to fight them when Ancient Apparition and Void already shown themselves on that bottom lane. You can't really just go ham, no matter how in front you are. You will be punished in situations such as that one. And that's what we talked about when it comes to HellRaisers and these moves that they make. Like sometimes they are winning the game, but they just throw it. It's simple as that. They throw some games.
Miposhka, another freebie coming out. Interesting choices indeed.
I wonder why was he hiding himself behind that tree? Why didn't he instantly port? It was only Omni Knight there, and he has a War Deeper. Yeah, very peculiar choices by him. But you saw how they killed that monkey, even with the Oracle and his saves. That just shows us that this Meepo can take these targets down. Like, he's strong enough to blink in Hex a Void or blink in Hex a Monkey King. It's simple for him to take down targets as long as Oracle is controlled. And eventually this Ember will be strong enough with the BKB to find that Oracle and control him. So 178 comes mid-game. They have ways of winning it. But they definitely have to be careful of that Void's Chrono. He will have that BKB 2 any second now. Also, Monkey King deals so much damage. So it's anybody's game. That's what I'm trying to say, even though the score is 7-18.
Yeah, and a 4K lead still for HellRaisers. I think the more important thing to highlight here is that right now, you're at a stage where Meepo can feel like Superman. AA is the kryptonite. We've seen how effective that Ransack is, but if he gets caught out by the Ice Blast, if even half of his Meepos get hit by it, and HellRaisers respond to that quickly, then he just dies every time in these fights. So maybe AA has to be the entrance kill. It's a weird feeling because there's an Oracle, right? But you need to enable your Meepo. That's the key element to winning this game for 178 right now. And they'll smoke. With the Meepo involved.
Indeed.
B2 the perfect target if you can get him quick
He
enough.
has a blink as well.
They need to find Aloha Dance or the AA who's coming in behind him right now.
But they're hiding themselves so well behind the trees. They're positioning themselves so that the smoke is broken. Pikachu will... Oh,
there we go. He gets the Ice Blast out, though, so Meepo doesn't want to fight right now, and the Chrono's going to be there. Pikachu, he went in too soon. The GA to try and protect him, but the magic damage is enough to bring him down. They'll chase through for more. No bash on Bignum just yet. He's got the bounce strike
here around the shrine.
Yep. AA's ultimate effect has ran out. They'll move on to V2, and there's the false promise to protect them. We'll move out the freezing field. The steel's going to be there. Didn't get what he was looking for. He only got the fortunes then. He was hoping for something better, like a false promise. But Platimos...
Even though they killed Ember, they can't fight this Meepo. He's way too strong, and they're even going to let Aloha Dance die.
No choice. It comes down to that AA again. If they do not have the Ice Blast, they cannot contend this Meepo right now.
The ransack is basically what keeps him alive.
Yes.
And because of that, the AA is very important. AA needs to be alive if they want to take down the Meepo. Also in that fight, they didn't have a BKB on Void, so he didn't want to risk it. A false promise was already used on Void, and they just back out. They don't want to fight the shrine. Plus, no AA. It's a bad decision for them. But then again, they need to continue playing actively across the map, and they need to continue chasing this Meepo and killing him, because once he gets like 2 Scuddies or 1 Scuddy, he's going to be so tanky, you won't kill him even with an AA blast.
Well, throwing an AA blast into the pit right now. They know they're roshing. They don't have a chrono for 50 seconds. Wukong's is coming off cooldown 25, but by then this rosh is going to be done. Might just have to let him have it. B2's standing around, but they don't care right now. He does have a BKB.
He has BKB. Yeah, he has a BKB, so he can jump perhaps in with it and try to steal that Aegis.
DM being held back in the meantime. No Dark Attention for 25. Gets in range for the Crippling Fear for a moment. But Pikachu moves away. B2 jumps in. Oh no, he got the Aegis. He snatched it. Plantimos, he needs to get out now. False promise that was stolen is going to be used to keep him alive for the moment, but now they need to kite them out. Pedishara's going to get low. Ice Blast is in again, and Meepo is gone. B2, quick fingers, turns the fight. Picks up the important piece, and now Bignum would be killed on the side as well, as DM will just run him down. They just need to get everyone else out.
That's so HellRaisers like.
It's ballsy, but sometimes ballsy is what you need, and it'll even lead to a kill on Pikachu maybe. Chase in. They need to slow him down if anything. There's the Chrono. Catches onto his Night Stalker as well. The Chrono was stolen, but how are you going to use a Bignum? You can't stop V2, that's for sure. You can't kill anyone. Oh no, he does. Aloha Dance. He got caught in it. The buyback comes out, but Pikachu, you're not getting this Void. There's no way in hell you're getting them. Just back up. Except that buyback will not lead to anything else.
The Night Stalker with the Blink Dagger does so much in this game too. Now he has to be careful. He cancelled his support so that he's able to go and pick that bounty up. Luckily for him, he's not under any vision and Ember won't find him.
No, and also, he's a lot more scary now. He has a Spirit Vessel.
A Spirit Vessel, and it's also nighttime again, so he's fast.
Oh.
This Crystal Maiden on the bottom lane.
Have mercy. Poor Maiden. And Miposhka gets the haste as well. Just in case there was any hope in CM's mind that she gets out alive, it's completely quashed and perishes from existence, just like her.
That Maiden did get the bounty rune, however, which is a small upside. Silver lining for 178, I guess.
Well, they need
But
any silver line they can get right now.
They need a kilogram of silver linings, my friend, because they lost that Aegis to the Void. And if they have that Aegis, the game is theirs. Like, the game is 60% in their favor. But like this, damn, it looks really rough. Like, their chances are super low.
Yeah, 91% chance of HellRaisers taking this one as it currently stands.
There you go. But if Meepo had that Aegis, it's completely different story. It's just the way the game is played out. If that first Aegis is taken by Meepo, or if it's not taken by him. And on the top lane, he misses that kill. On the Night Stalker too, unfortunate. But you have to, that first Aegis is so crucial, that first rush. And they almost had it, but V-Tune with quicker fingers jumps in. BKB steals the Aegis and pretty much wins the mid game for his team.
It's worrying for 178 because they don't have any immediate solution if they didn't get their hands on that Aegis, right? It's not like this is an Ember that's building into that Spirit Vessel we see more often. And it is a great Spirit Vessel game, right? Against the Night Stalker, the Monkey King especially, and the Void. Speaking of which, Void has used the BKB. He's got Chrono 5, but he won't hang around. Oh, they look in top.
BKBs.
DM did use Dark Ascension, but he doesn't find anyone. They already left.
There was a smoke as well from them, so perhaps if someone runs back towards the top lane, they can find the kill. But there is no BKB on Void, and he's so far away. They should better just chill a bit, I believe.
He's
But
not.
they're hunting. DM is going in.
Yep. Sees the opportunity to Aurora. Meepo, one of them didn't get out. No, the poof. He stopped it because the Crippling Fear. That's a hard target, though. They don't think they can justify going any deeper. Nyx was waiting around, but Pikachu's too elusive.
But you can see the way they're controlling the map. They're playing super actively on the Radiant side of the map, which is very important for them. They're keeping the Meepo starved out and choked out on his high ground. He has farmed what? After that Blink and E-Blade that he had so long ago, he managed to just get one ultimate orb 28 minutes in, 27:40. That's not really the farm that you're looking for if you play this hero. Ember Spirit, like, at least he has his BKB finished, but that BKB doesn't do a whole lot versus the Chronosphere.
No,
It's
and
really an item that helps.
look at the net worth differential between the Chrono Man himself and the Meepo. Like, it's growing again. On top of that, the Aegis. I wouldn't be surprised if HellRaisers start to threaten high ground here. No reason not to. Dark Ascension available in 50 more seconds.
Perhaps the tier 2 on the top lane, a pick off, but no, you were completely right. Instead, they're going for mid. They're pressuring this tier 3. It is a dangerous move. It's ballsy, but
They'll back
nothing
out.
stopping them at the moment. They have that chrono. So.
I think they were just trying to force a situation where 178 commits because, you know, the Aegis is running out very soon. The creep wave is not there for top, right? So you're worried that the moment you lose this Aegis, 178 gets this bounce back opportunity to find a pickoff.
Well, in 15 seconds, Aegis will run out. And after that, most certainly, 178 will try to fight them in some sort of way. But the problem for 178 right now is that they've been completely choked out in their base. And they're starving for vision. They have no wards outside. You can see how HellRaisers having like 2, 3, 4 wards on the map. There's 0 Radiant wards anywhere. That's because everything has been devoided because of map control. The way that HellRaisers have played. And there we go. That's the smoke. You need to do this. You have to do this.
Desperation smoke, maybe. They find Nyx. They jump all the remnants in, get him low. BKB. False promise just in time to be able to heal up. And the Ice Blast through means Palantimos needs to run. The GA will protect him for the time being, but the Wukong's command is down. And Palantimos is melting in the face of this danger. Nyx continuing to fight. Does go down the end. The Chrono's there. Now Pikachu going to be melted through quickly here. The Stolen False promise to keep him alive, but they need to heal him up is the problem. And I don't know if they can. Palantimos jumps in nonetheless. We'll find the kill. DM with the Crippling Fear still running. Spirit Festival out. Happy Diorara will go down. But Meepo comes back in. Much needed buyback allows them to hold and get some important kills. But not V2. Never V2.
That buyback was crucial. If he didn't buy back in that situation, they lose that fight 5-1. Monkey King would be the only one that falls as return. This way around, though, they get 3 kills. Meepo can take some map control, which is so important right now. That smoke...
No,
Meepo was messing with them a little bit, yeah, but he gets out. Basically, the point of smoke such as that one, whenever you're playing in a competitive game and you lose your vision completely around your base when they choke you in with an Aegis like that, you need to smoke up. There's no other way to get out of your base. That's why smokes are so valuable, and some teams are very reluctantly using them for some small pickoffs. Because if you find yourself in a situation such as that one and you don't have a smoke, you will not be able to get outside and gain any map control. They use that smoke to get on one side of the map so that they can ward it up, perhaps devoid it. Sadly, Happy Durara forgot about that cliff. He still didn't devoid the dire ward around the shrine. He should do that very soon, though, as he's moving there, I believe, right now.
It's definitely a high impact type of smoke, right? Because you mentioned the fact that you're trapped in your base, you don't have any vision. You either find a fight, but if you don't find a fight, you're seeing it now. You get these D-wards out. You actually re-establish control on your side of the map. A lot of big teams are very good at manipulating that as well. Usually you'll see them stand on the high ground. HellRaisers tried it there, but as we saw, it got awkward. I think the biggest factor in that fight was actually Bignum with those clutch saves, with the Stolen False Promise and the control.
Yeah, he definitely helped out a lot. One big thing that we should look out for is the fact that Palantimos went for a Hex instead of a Skadi, and I think this is a really good decision by him. This item is really great versus Monkey and Void. Is there these kind of heroes that aren't necessarily tanky enough if you have control?
As you'll see now. They'll move in. MK is gone.
Instantly, they proved the point.
Oh, Diorara goes in with the freezing field, but there's the Chrono. Now they're jumping in, looking for the Meepo with the BKB. False Promise still being stolen and held onto here. It's going to keep Palantimos alive, allows him to blink away with the Meepo, but being chased onto. One bash would do it. Rubik's already gone down the side. And there it is, Meepo falls. Big kill. That was the dieback as well.
That's a huge kill because Meepo usually has a lot of levels. He's
All the talent.
95 seconds on the sidelines. They can do whatever the hell they want to on the map right now for this duration of time.
Well, screw the map. They want to screw the base, right? This is where they just go in, break a lane.
Exactly. Just go and break the high ground. Force the buyback from Crystal Maiden if she has it. Not really the greatest thing to force, but they will go down on this tier 3 for sure.
Start the pressure. Pikachu needs to be careful. He gets bashed once. Could be in a lot of trouble. They think he's got a remnant back. Little do they know. And there's the Crippling Fear. Mistakes made. BKB. He needs to get out. The bash again. Oh, no. If that Heavenly Grace was not there, he would not be there either. He'd be dead.
He understands how strong he is because of the fact that he has Omni Knight behind him. It's very unlikely that he is going to be taken down so fast that he won't be able to get purified or Heavenly Grace before. So he's just playing with fire, but it's an Ember Spirit. He can play with fire. He's good at it.
Radiant's middle tower has
So
fallen.
far, no Heavenly Disgraces. Petashara has been on point for trying to save people. Now they're going to try and catch him on the retreat. Nyx has the BKB though. Will activate it. False Promise just to be safe. And now stop Ember. He needs to get out of range. Stun comes out. Oh no, the Remnant. Oh, he goes back in.
No, he's back.
He's gone in. The Spirit Vessel. One more hit's all they need. They'll get him. Ember's down. He's going to have to buy back if he's not careful. It looks like they're going to back up.
What are you doing?
You know what? He's running from evolution. He doesn't want to become a Raichu. He realizes if he gets far away from his team, his captain won't force him to change.
I don't know. Some mistakes were definitely made there by the Ember Spirit player, as he had the Remnant bag, but it's one of those situations that just happens to the best of us. Like,
it's one of those panic
Pikachu.
presses midway, usually because like you're not pressing right where your Remnant is. You're doing it in the direction, right? So if he has a Remnant like here, and he's here, and there's one in his base, and he presses it here, he might go to that one.
Exactly. You just slightly press it on the other side of the map, like on the other. It's closer to the other Ember than it is to the one in the fountain,
Yeah.
like you describe it, and it happens. It happens with Embers. It happens with. There's a couple of other heroes that have similar interactions. Meepo actually has the same one with Poof. If you press it to like somewhere else where you don't wanna, he can poof in spot instead of to the Meepo. That's the target.
Nature's Prophets, when they're playing Dire Side and they accidentally don't click on the map for their base, they click on the place next to them. It's in plenty of those. But now look at this. V2, he has the Chrono, ready to party. Ember's back in the fight again, didn't have to expend his buyback there.
This is going to be huge for both teams.
Oh.
Let's see who pounces first, though.
DM may have jumped the gun a little here.
It's nighttime anyway, so he just used it before, but he will be flying right now for the Crystal Maiden.
Moment of silence for the maiden that was. May never be again. 45 seconds on the sideline. Does have buyback though, and the D ward comes out from DM as well.
Radiant's top
There's
shrine
a
is
Reaver
under
purchased
attack.
by the Void, so he's going into that Satanic. It's decent as it gives him some status resistance as well to work with. That
Especially
might
against
be,
that Hex.
Exactly, it might prove to be very crucial for him, as only thing he needs is to get out of that Hex so that he can Mantower BKB.
D-Tune so far an unstoppable force in this game. 11-0-3, refusing to die even once. And
Palantimos wants to jump in. Look at his positioning.
yeah, too late. You need to get out now because DM's chasing him with a blink forward, sees the Ember. Spirit Vessel's out on him. He says, okay, this time you're in trouble because you actually bought out. BKB to try and escape on the side. Petashara won't be so lucky.
And the Chrono.
Oh no, he fluffs
Rift.
it.
I mean, it's a hero that, yeah.
It's a gamble. You know if you hit him there, you
Exactly.
win because you see that he's bought out on this Ags, or try to, right? Get the
He
components.
gave us a small dance there, at least. He gave us a small dance of, like, a very shameful dance as he missed that Chrono completely. It's an Ember Spirit. You don't really go for that Chrono 9 out of 10 times, but here they just delayed the inevitable, I suppose, for a little bit. They could wait for this Chrono cooldown to come off,
Yes.
or they could just continue fighting them.
And 178 might now overfeel the ability to fight because yes, the Chrono's gone, but the Wukong's is there, and also the A is Ice Blast. You still have to account for that in these fights. Remnant,
Ember's going in.
he's looking for the
back.
AA. He's looking in the wrong place right now. V2 will back off alone. Nyx needs to actually get back further as well. But DM, he's going deeper. Poor CM, not like this, not once more. Gun Angel try and keep up. BKB though, he's waiting for the Void to finish off the kill. The Wukong's already down. The Ice Blast does throw out, but AA has to buy back. Plantimos getting low, bashed up, will go down as well. Meepo dead and out for the count. Has buyback available soon, but doesn't have the gold for it now. Rubik going to be chased down as well. The buyback's being thrown in, buyback galore, but Pikachu, this BKB is not protecting you, my friend. You're running out of heroes. As the GG comes out, they know there's nothing they can do. Even without the chrono there, HR are too far ahead.
Yeah. This is the second time they attempted to go for this Meepo safe lane. What worries me is the fact that they're so centered towards this pick that they completely neglect the fact that there is a Monkey King on the mid lane that's going to crush that Ember. If that Ember had a good start, if he was versus a hero that's not his counter, he'd be able to cross the map easily, to create space, to make this Meepo able to actually carry the map. But not only do they have an Ember that's not really fed on mid, they also have a Meepo that's on the side lane, a Meepo that max transact, which means that he's late on all of his items and levels by 2-3 minutes. Like this is the second time that we watched this guy play safely in Meepo, and 2 times in a row he gets all his levels and all his items at least 2 or 3 minutes slower than a mid Meepo would do, you know. And those 2-3 minutes are crucial for this hero. In those 2-3 minutes, you can start actually rotating across the map, killing supports, because if you get that level 10 on minute 10, you can kill 2 supports before they get that tome. That's a huge power spike for them. It gives you a lot of gold, and then with that extra 500-600 gold, you're closer to either a blink dagger or a ghost, which makes you tankier or which makes you stronger in these pick offs. And then you can rinse and repeat that and snowball out of control. But you can't really do that when you're doing a safe lane Meepo here. They need to go back to the drawing board and think about the strategy a bit more.
It feels like there's a vast oversight from the teams, or not BP as much, but the other teams when it comes to HellRaisers as well. J178 maybe kind of missed this one as well to an extent. We saw earlier today, Old Gold missed this important, crucial factor. When HellRaisers is doing good, it's usually when VTune is going good, right? Like, it feels like every game we've watched of VTune today, he's just kind of been left to his own devices. These teams seem to be content with their opponent's +1 just farming whenever he wants and however he wants. And as a result, you get these ridiculously dominant performances. We saw it with a Wraith King earlier today. We've seen it now with a Void here, 13-0-17. I don't feel like at any stage the Void was pressured in this game, right, Liz? I feel like he was just given whatever he wanted.
The Void truly isn't the hero that Palantimos and Meepo players should usually be afraid of. Void is one of the... It's not strong against Meepo, and it's very concerning that this Void had such a free game and that he never felt pressured. I agree with you completely. Perhaps if that Hex Blink came out earlier, they'd be able to pick him off a couple of times. But or if at least the Blink came out of earlier. But it's just the way they played, they never really approached VTune a lot. And why? Because it was a Monkey King versus a hero that he counters on mid. Monkey King had a blast. He was just rotating across the map and creating as much space as it was needed for the Void to stay deathless in this whole match.
Oh, 1 game up for HellRaisers, but best of 5. So they need 2 more to secure themselves a slot for Summer 11. Short break, then we get back for game 2, and we'll see if J178, you know, their clicks can be a little bit more accurate, the fixation on certain usual cheese picks can diversify, or if HellRaisers are just going to plow through them again.